Rocker Pat here. Alright guys, day 2 of our rocking the rocker panels. Yeah, check out that bad boy vet. Yeah, baby, that thing's fine. Anyway, let's see what we got done yesterday on our 1954 Bel Air 2-door hardtop rocking the rocker panels. Alright, let's go over here and check her out. There, one made inner rocker panel. Complete, fit up to the car. Everything looks good. It's clecoed right here to the inner brace that's right here. This inner brace is not up against it, although it's up against it. But here, let's see if we can take a look at that. I don't know if y'all can see it. That brace is 8 up. I'm not gonna replace that whole brace. I do have a new one for it. I'm gonna come back right about in this zone right here, and I'm gonna section it off. It's not really holding the car up. It goes all the way across to the other side, so the main holding of the car is through the center of the floor pan. So this one's not going to get replaced completely, unlike the front one that is getting replaced completely. How I made that's 18 gauge steel, and it fits nice and tight all the way up in there. And let's go take a look at how I made that. Alright, let's go out here and I'll show you what I started with and where we go. And just so we can be all on the same page, let's take a look at the National Chevy Association book here. These are EMS floor pans. $189 for each front floor pan, $199 for each rear floor pan. So you got $800 worth of floor pans right there alone. Not counting the braces that are $89 a piece. Not counting, I misspoke yesterday when I said that those inner rockers were $125 a piece. They are $150 a piece. Okay? If I wanted the EMS outer rockers, they're $125 a piece. I bought the $60 a piece rockers. Yeah, you know, they're a little thinner than I would have liked. It would have been nicer if they would have been 18 gauge, but you know, it is what it is. But I just can't see $300. So let's take $300 plus the $800. That's $1,100, and you ain't even got the whole floor. Or you can come over here and buy the whole floor for $999 plus $200 shipped to your house, or $150 shipped to my garage. Yeah, $1,150. But that doesn't come with all the floor braces, so you still need the floor braces. So it's my contention that for all that money, you can buy all the tools that I used to make that. You can buy a plasma cutter for about $200 off of eBay. You don't have to have the $800 Eastwood that I've got. I used the bead roller. They're $139, something like that. I used the shrinker and the stretcher. They're around $150, I believe. And I used the plenishing hammer to make that inner rocker and the floor pans. So let's see how I made the inner rockers. The first thing I did was, fortunately it was exactly 4 foot. I could have used an extra inch, but I'm going to add on to it. Nobody's going to see it. That way I didn't have to cut long ways on my $67 piece of sheet metal. And you see how much metal I got left. And I have cut both the inner rockers out of this piece of metal. Once I got that piece of metal, which is that sheet right there, I took it, a piece of angle iron, and I clamped it to the edge of my bench, all the way down. Lots of these. A man can never have too many vices. And you should get a set of these. These are nice tools too. Works great for clamping. So I clamped it down there, and then I took body hammer and made a 90 out of it. Okay? Turn that down to a 90. So you don't need a long break to do this job. Once I got the 90 put in it, then I took it over to the car and I started fitting it to the car. Okay? And that's when I started seeing that there was a slight jog to the left right here. So I took it to my my stretcher, and I stretched it through this zone. You can see the teeth mark left by the stretcher. Then back up in here, it needed another jog back to the right. So I took it to the shrinker and I shrunk it back to the right. And that got us this little kick in it that we needed to get it to fit the car properly and to fit these braces. Alright, now once I did that, I fit my, well, I mean, the truth of the matter is, I started by fitting the outer rocker first, okay? But we're gonna get to that in a second. So I got the outer rocker, and then I slid the inner rocker up, and I started making it fit the existing braces that were still left in the car, okay? And we came back here to the existing brace that is still in the car back here as well. So, now we got the inner rocker made. Now if you see, there's a bead in it, okay? There's beads in this rocker. Now I couldn't put all the beads I wanted to in it, alright, stiffening beads, because that bead roller just didn't have the throat to make it happen. But the next thing after I did the bead, after I got the panel shaped the way I wanted it shaped, okay? Now here's the important trick. If you don't want that panel to twist up on you like a pretzel, here's the trick. You bring it over here to the plenishing hammer, okay? And what you're basically doing is you need to pre-stretch where you're gonna roll, okay? Like this thing's twisted. You see how it's all twisted? And I've kind of pushed it back into shape a little bit, okay? But what you want to do is you want to pre-stretch where you're going to roll the bead. The reason why is because you're pulling metal. As you raise this, you got to pull metal from the sides, okay? And it'll get your panel all cattywonker, and you'll get an oil can effect out of it, okay? But if you run it through either the plenishing hammer to pre-stretch that line, or even better, an English wheel, which I don't have yet, which is on my list of get-ems, okay? You'll be able to pre-stretch that, and then when you roll your bead, you're just rolling, you're just shaping what you've already pre-stretched. Does that make sense? That way your panel still lays flat on your bench. If not, it'll get all twisted where it's rocking one way and then rocking the other way, and that ain't the kind of rocking we like to do around here, man. Okay? So once I got the panel pre-stretched along the lines that I wanted to go, I had my buddy Chris come over here and operate my wheel for me, and I rolled it through my bead roller. Okay? So simple, quick, no warping of my panel or anything like that, and I was literally able to take it right back to the car and put it right back on the car without any hammer dolly twisting. Oh man, that don't fit right. You know what I mean? All right, guys, I'm gonna put y'all right here for a second, and I'm gonna install the outer rocker panel, and we're gonna see where we lie on that. Now, the outer rocker panel, I don't have 100% line cut, trimmed perfectly yet. So you're gonna have to bear with me a little bit on that. I still have some end down here that needs to come off of it. But let's just see how well we're fitting in. I'm gonna go over some other things about this as well. And if you don't have some of these Clecos, that's another thing you could buy. I mean, you literally, for the price of these floors in this car, could buy all the tools that I'm using to fix this car, okay? So, we got our Clecos in here. I'm also gonna install this other floor pan that I got so we can see a few things. Even though I still say I'm not gonna use this floor pan, it's just, we're using it right now for a, you know what I mean. Oh yeah, before I go up too far, I'm gonna show you one thing else. That's that panel that I was talking about where I took that piece of wood and I hammered it around this zone right here. Now, that bead roller I've got I had the additional set of dies for it. I would have been able to make that with a tipping wheel, but we're gonna go over that once I buy all that stuff, okay? I haven't bought that yet and don't have the cash right now too. So y'all going right back up over here. Let me make sure y'all can still see. How's that? Yeah, look good to you? All right. All right, so let me get this floor pan in. And I know what y'all are gonna say. Y'all gonna be like, Rocker Pat, you can just use that floor pan, that's good enough, nobody's gonna see it. Well, I know it's not right, and I don't like it. You see how it it's not bent exactly right. Now, that's not because I didn't pre-stretch anything. It's because I got a little pressure back over here, and I need to relieve it. Just like that. All right, so when they made this outer rocker skin, okay, now I admit it needs to come in just a little bit. Okay, there's a few spots that it could ride in just a hair bit better. But it would have been nicer had they extended this piece out at least another ½ inch or so. Now, it doesn't lie on top of the inner rocker. The floor steps down to the inner, and then it's supposed to step down to the outer. Okay? And that's how it was when I took it apart, and that's how it is on the other side. But all this fill right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this, I'm going to go underneath this panel, and I'm going to come out a little further with it, so that I'm probably going to go all the way where I can tack it in place to the inner. And if you look at the floor over there, let's go over here and take a look. When I made this, I should have extended this out further, okay? I need to come out to about right here with the floor pan, okay? But, you know, other than that, I guess I'm okay for first round of test fitting and everything. It's sure better than what I see. Yeah, you see I got a little oil can going on there? There's some fixing I can do with that. That's why I'm not 100% happy with that panel. I probably, A, I should have stretched this a little further, and B, I should have brought these out further, okay? Plus it's 20 gauge and not 18. Also, this stripe right here is not in the right location to sit on top of the inner brace properly. It should have been further out here okay? And I made it too far that way. I didn't have a real good pattern. Now I'll be able to make a pattern. And I don't have the outer rocker cut to where I'm actually gonna cut it on the car. This is still way high. My cut is down here, almost to the floor. So I gotta do that. One of the areas that I've had that was pretty rotted was right here. So I've got to figure out a way to make this complex shape right here. This would be pretty easy, but adding out that extra turn is going to be a little bit of a difficulty. But I'll figure it out, and when I figure it out, I'll show you how I did it. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. One day of rocker panel building, and I don't know if we're going to be able to see down that hole. No, probably not. Yeah, there we go. But we got a nice tight fit down at the bottom. We got rockers. We're rocking and rolling and rolling and rocking on our rocker panel repair. All right, guys, well, y'all keep rocking, and I got some rolling to do. Talk to y'all next time.